Hello, this is Echinacea Puff, and today I will be discussing Foldy and Bell's friendship. So, in BFB, Foldy and Bell were both on the same team, and they had a few interactions that season. They join Yellowface's team after he tells them to join now. In BFB 1, Bell says,
"With Foldy gone, how are we going to reach that basket? No one here can get up there."
In BFB 2, Bell, as well as some others on free food, demand that for recover Foldy. In BFB 15, Foldy rides on Bell due to the lava, and Bell tries to make conversation with her.
Nice day we're having?
In TPOT, we see them join the same team. Bell asks Foldy if she wants to make a team together. Foldy agrees, and later they can be seen smiling widely together. They end up on the strongest team on Earth. However, after this episode, we do not see them interact anymore. With Foldy eliminated and Bell still in the game, it might be a while before we see them interact again, if we see them interact again. Although, if Bell gets eliminated, which might happen soon, maybe we will see them interact in the eliminated TPOT contestants' place. Interesting things could be done with this friendship. Both Bell and Foldy seem to be the type to hold on to grudges. In BFB 10, Bell does not accept Taco's apology for tricking her in BFB 6 and says,
"Just deal with it. I don't trust you anymore, and I probably never will."
She seems to not be very trusting of someone who has notably wronged her. With Foldy, we have seen more of her grudge-holding nature. Consider her conflict with Liy. We do not know for sure why Foldy dislikes Liy so strongly, but perhaps it has to do with some things that happened between them in the past. Perhaps the non-canon BFDI episode has to do with it. In BFB 10, Foldy looks at Match with an angry expression after Eraser shows her the footage of Match showing the footage in BFB 8. And in the next episode, she targets Iance, rather than Match in particular, trying to stop Flower from pressing the button, trying to make Iance lose in order to avenge Stapy. Flower pushes her off, although Iance does end up losing outside of what Foldy tried to do. Foldy got quite angry about what happened, and tried to make Iance pay for what they did, even if I do not think that she is in the right for doing this. This does not make her bad as a character, though. Also about her, the BFDI official character guide says, despite her pleasant appearance, Foldy often holds onto grudges. So, how would Foldy and Bell's friendship work out? What would happen if one of them did something that the other did not like? Would the latter get angry at the former and cut off the friendship and hold a grudge? Or would they try to work it out due to them being friends, if they see that it is detrimental to their friendship? Perhaps they could both learn the problems of holding on to grudges, and learn to be more forgiving, learn to be more trusting, learn to give another chance. Also, with their grudge-holding natures, they could relate to each other. This friendship could be good for Belle, as she does not seem to really have any too notable relationships with another TPOT contestant. She has had some interactions with Snowball, and she gets into an argument with Basketball regarding Robot Flower in TPOT 8, but overall, there is not too much. Apparently Belle is close friends with Yellowface according to the character guide, but we have not seen much of that. Having a notable friendship with another character could be good for Belle. This friendship could also be good for Foldy. Notice that in TPOT, Foldy comes across as more apathetic compared to her BFB self. For example, she does not visibly react to Belle flinging the marker away in TPOT 1, and in TPOT 2 she does not want to do work. What if Foldy's missing Stapy influenced her apathy? What if her sadness over him eventually caused her to not feel much anymore? Perhaps Belle could be someone that Foldy could confide in about her missing of Stapy. They could talk it through together, and Foldy could learn to be less sad, learn to miss Stapy less. Even if Basketball could have also worked for this role. But even if Belle and Foldy do not actually talk about Stapy much, perhaps even just finding someone else to be friends with even if she is not as good as Stapy in Foldy's eyes, even if she could never replace him. Perhaps just being with another friend could help Foldy to be happy again, learn to feel more again. Now, about Marker. In TPOT 1, Bell does not seem very pleased with Marker wanting to join Foldy. She makes a disgruntled noise and flings him away. Foldy, though, does not make any detectable reaction, despite seeming to be friends with him in BFB. How come? It could be influenced by apathy, like mentioned before. However, what else could lead to this? Did she not care that much about Marker after Stapy was eliminated? We did not see them interact in BFB after Stapy's elimination, so that does not necessarily mean that they actually did not interact. It could just be a matter of screen time. Was she only friends with Marker because Stapy was friends with him? Or maybe she wanted to distance herself from him because maybe he reminded her of Stapy, and maybe she wanted to not think about Stapy that much, or even try to forget about him. Was Foldy truly friends with Marker? This could have been interesting to see that situation in TPOT 1 be addressed. Would Foldy apologize? Would she try to distance herself from Marker? Would Marker try to interact with her? How does he feel about the situation? Maybe he thinks that Foldy is his friend, when really she is not. Or maybe she is his friend, she just has not been a good friend as of recently. Would they just stop interacting, grow distant, or would they try to fix their relationship? Would Marker forgive Foldy? Would Foldy be willing to interact with Marker again? And how would Bell play into this? Did she just not want Marker in that moment? Or does she genuinely dislike him? Does she just find him annoying or something? Or does she have a deep disliking for him? Would she approve of Foldy and Marker interacting? What if Foldy and Marker start being closer again? Would Bell distance herself from Foldy? Would Bell get angry? This could be a way to incorporate this thing about Bell being one to hold on to grudges. Could all three of them become friends? Or Marker and Foldy become close again, and Bell is fine with it, even if she's not particularly close to Marker? Also, suppose that in a situation in which Bell and Foldy do become closer friends, what if Stapy came back? And Liy? How would Foldy react if she sees that Stapy and Liy are kind of friends? Would she be fine with it? Hurt? Angry? Envious? Perhaps she would cut off her friendship with Stapy. Her best and dearest friend, as a character guide says, being friends with her worst enemy. How might Bell play a role in this? Would she agree with what Stapy did? Or no? If Foldy does cut off her friendship with Stapy, would Bell side with her? Or no? It is possible that Bell might side with Foldy in this scenario. Do remember that Bell seems to hold on to grudges too, so she might agree with Foldy. And in general, Bell seems like the type to side with Foldy in this situation. Or suppose that in a situation in which Foldy does cut off her friendship with Stapy, she eventually realizes her wrongdoings and wants to be close friends with Stapy again, but Stapy has moved on or something. Like suppose he becomes close friends with Liy. It is too late for Foldy. What would Foldy do? Would she develop a closer friendship with Bell? Or would she distance herself from everyone, including Bell? Would she begin to despair? Would Foldy still be at least somewhat friends with Stapy, or stop being friends with him altogether? Would Stapy want to be somewhat friends with her, or would he not want to be friends with her at all? And something else that Foldy and Bell have in common, they can sort of fly. Foldy can glide in the air, and Bell has her string. Imagine Bell and Foldy working together in challenges, taking advantage of their abilities. And we could see them interact in general without considering major arcs. What do you think? Do you think that Foldy and Bell should have interacted more? Do you think that this friendship is good? Do you think that their friendship has missed potential? What do you think could have been done with their friendship? Do you have any ideas for arcs involving them? Any other thoughts? Please consider liking this video, commenting on it, and sharing it. If you have ideas on how I can improve my videos, please let me know. And please consider subscribing to my channel and turning up the notifications. Thank you for watching. Bye!